What is going on out there, YouTube? I am the Anonymous Prepper. Welcome back to the channel. 400 subscribers we hit. Very awesome. Thank you guys so much for that. I greatly appreciate it. And I wanted to make a video today, of course covering, and don't mind the noise in the background, Miss Tasha here is having a fun time with that. But I wanted to make a video in regards to, we had a power outage in Southwest PA here a few weeks ago. As many of you remember, a lot of people didn't have power for how many days? It was like 4 or 5 days. Fortunately, I was lucky enough to be prepared, but also my power didn't go out, thankfully. But I was prepared for it to go out, hence why I have all of these items here, which I wanted to cover really quick, because I'm a prepper on a budget. When I say on a budget, I mean I am on a budget. You see all these other big channels out there that have, you know, the big old solar generator units, 4,000, 5,000 watts, save your fridge, you know, all that jazz, which is not what this is going to be about. This is about the bare bones. Starting with the basics of where, for example, you're on a very fixed income and you can't really afford to buy a high quality solar generator. And I have a few options here, which they're not going to give you luxury per se, but they're going to help you keep, you know, your phone charged. If you have a laptop, a tablet, or, you know, if you just want to be able to run a fan to stay cool at night. Or another prime example too, speaking of, is they make these car coolers now that are battery powered. These guys here can power those. So if you have some, you know, frozen food, you could use these as well, and daisy chain these if you want, to help you, you know, keep your food good. This is more so just to, you know, get through a couple of nights of no power. We have some options here, as you can see. Different little things. You got your power banks right here, which is where I'm going to start. This is your bare bones. This is where you start with your basic setup. Now, you go to like a Walmart, you know, whatever, you can buy one of these. And we recognize what this is. This is a Duracell power bank. This is going to charge your phone, or you can charge up devices like this, or this, you know, these, if you need to, you know, do whatever you need to do to keep them going. They're about like around like 10 bucks. You know, they do the job. If you're somebody who just needs something to keep your phone charged for, you know, a night if the power goes out, that's a good place to start. And then, you know, you have these. Now these, I always preach about to people I know. Now, it doesn't have to be this brand exclusively, as long as it's the power bank hand warmers. Now, I suffered a power outage in the wintertime, and these saved me in a pinch. To have the two of these tucked in my bed got me through the night just fine. And plus, they can charge your phone. They can charge, you know, little USB devices. Like this is a USB device. But to add to this, this is also, and bear with me a second, if I can get it and show you guys. You see it has a plug. That plug there allows you to actually use this as a power bank as well. And people are going to say, oh, this is just looks flimsy and cheap. It produces power. You can find these online if you look really carefully for like $5. Nothing fancy. It's enough to where it's going to power your phone for a night. Plus, flashlight, lantern options. This one I also like because it has 2 different color lights. You have yellow, another lantern. It's a great little feature, let me tell you. Same thing with this lantern here. It is a lantern, a flashlight. It has a little solar thing on the top, which it kind of works, but, you know, I wouldn't recommend it. But you can see it has the same thing, USB and a plug-in, which allows you to charge your devices. Or getting to the next part of this. As you can see here, we have solar panels. Now I have how many of these? I have a number of these in 4 and 5 panel. This one's the 4 here, but I have like 3 of these. And then I have 5. Then I have this guy here. I have a couple of these ones. 28 watts. This one here is supposed to be 30, but I think it's more like 20. Then, of course, over to here. This one I like a lot. This was my first power bank I actually bought. This guy here has a solar panel built into it, and it works great. This is my go-to for hiking. Put it on the pack. It already has your power supply built into it, and it charges with all these panels. It works really good. It's a nice little option. They go for around like 25 bucks. Just look for them when they're on sale. Don't ever spend no more than 25 bucks on one of these. And over to these two, like this one here, they're around like 10 to 15. Try to get them when they're on the lower end of like 10 to 12 if you can. It's much more worth it. That way you could buy like 2 or 3 of them. The other solar panel, this one here, the Sokio Vola. And I know I'm butchering that, I'm sorry. Forgive me for that. But seriously though, this one here is a 50-watt foldable solar panel. That one I use to power these, because you need a good power source to power up your solar generators. This Gensrock is 300 watts, and you know, this will run a standard square box fan for about 8 hours on low. This one can do it for about 4 to 5. It's a 200 watt. This Flash Fish, I've reviewed this before already. I've talked about it. And I almost forgot I wanted to cover this one too over here. This is more of a backup phone power option, which I'll show right here. You can see a flashlight. You have a lantern built into it. It has a few options for power to charge up your devices, different plugs for it that came with it. It's a great little item. They're like around the 15 bucks. If you look on Amazon, you'll come across it. It's a great little item. All these items here, the most expensive being the Gensrock, you're going to spend about 100 bucks. And it's going to give you a nice bit of comfort to keep you going for a couple of nights. If you need to charge your phone, charge your tablet, laptop, run a fan, or if you have one of those portable cooling coolers, they will help, you know, keep your food good. It's a great option. And then you have, you know, your solar and stuff, foldable panels, all that jazz. That way, you know, you can manage for a couple of days. In this video, why I wanted to do this too is so many people were unprepared that I know. They were, you know, freaking out like, I don't got power. We're going to lose our food. We're going to be, you know, uncomfortable with no air conditioning. Well, you have to know what to do to be prepared for these type of events. You know, you got to have your batteries. Getting to this, the battery daddy coach. This has the ability to carry every kind of battery you need. And as you can see, this thing is full. And not just that, on the other side, also full. You got to have power. Not as a luxury, just to give you some comfort, to keep you going throughout the night. These are the kind of things to start off, you know, with your bare bones basics. These hand warmer power banks are around like 12, 13 bucks. A standard basic power bank like this one's about 8 bucks. This one here, 12 bucks to 15. The Duracell, like around 10 to 12. It depends. You just have to look for the deals and the sales. You know, your lantern here, like around 7 bucks. This is around 5. Then, of course, batteries. Go to your Dollar Tree, your local dollar stores. You can find 8 packs for $1 to $1.50. And then you progress up to bigger batteries, your solar generators. These kinds of things are going to help so much. And you got to remember, too, if you have devices that can be recharged, you got to have panels. Not just one. You got to have a few. Because if you're going to charge up your devices, you want to use and have a variety of options. That way you could charge, you know, 2 or 3 things at a time. That way you could have everything full. Unless you're using it, of course. You know, just think about these little things that could help you so much with your charging ability and all that jazz. Great options to have. Definitely really consider this, folks. You know, this is a time where anything could happen. It's great options to have. And until the next video, I am the Anonymous Prepper. I'm out.